So today we will be focusing on assignment 812, and this is our final project that you can complete following the steps and submit the usual way. So let's get started with the description of this project. So I was thinking for a while how to make useful that simple interface with a single button that we get on our demo screen using textbook samples. And I came up with this idea that basically I described right here. So let's just read a little bit of the objective of this project. So we're thinking about a possible program for college students that wants to do some activity at a local school or some other place. And instead of using some kind of boring slides, we can make it more of an sort of like an interactive session with an audience. And so the idea is to write the program displays short sentences with some words obscured by a rectangular cover. So for example, we can print something like this. Something is a fruit that can be red, green, or yellow. Okay, so, and of course, the audience can take few guesses, and then the next screen reveals that it's an apple, okay? Or, they can take some other guesses, right? So this can actually be mixed with multimedia, sounds, other type of variety of presentation material, whatever. But anyhow, I mean, it's interesting to have something like this. And what I refer to, for the lack of better name, is just fill in the blanks type of program. So here comes the idea, right? So the program has to read sentences with hidden words from a text file. For instance, we use this example right here, that the sentences are in a specific format. They're pretty readable format, but basically the idea is that any word like this or like this or like this preceded by an @ sign should be considered hidden, right? So if we take the sentence right here with stops raining here, the stops is initially obscured and not visible. Then we press the next button and the word is revealed. So that's the idea. And so this is like a game. At the end, when you run out of sentences, you click the next button, and it will be the end of the program. So that's the idea. But of course, this is coming from a text file, so this can be configurable. So you can basically type anything you want and make the entire presentation or series of these types of sentences visible. So these are the rules right here. So the program reads the word one at a time. Sentence may contain hidden words. We described hidden word is indicated by an @ sign in front of it, and everything is separated by spaces. Also important that we need to be able to recognize ending of the sentence. So the period sign also has to appear at the end of the sentence. And it also has to contain the space. So everything contains a space. So anything that does not contain the space, consider to be one word. Okay. So for instance, don't with an apostrophe in the middle is displayed as a single word because it does not contain any spaces. Everything else is separated by spaces. All right, so each sentence is displayed twice, first with the hidden and the second time with all content shown. So we're going to get started now. And the proposition is that we were working initially on lab 3, which was our implementation with graphics classes from chapter 13. And building on the material from that lab, we're going to build up program which solves this problem for filling the blanks program. Okay, so let's get started. I already have my Visual Studio running, but before I open the project, or there is no download for this specific lab, so we're going to jump back to the list of the project that we had, and it's in my case under here under C155 GUI, and it's under labs. And so this is the copy of my lab 3. Okay, so that's what is going to be the prototype for this program. So first of all, I'd like to check inside, and I see that since I've left over here, I left this here with the Visual Studio artifacts and debug subfolder. I'm just going to press Shift Delete to permanently delete these two folders. And once they're gone, now I'm ready to make a copy of this project. Simply by clicking copy and clicking paste. So it creates the copy of it, and now I will rename it and make it called final project. Okay, final project or something like this. Close to this is fine. Now I have basically a clone of previous project which I was able to run and compile. And now this is going to be the project that I will be opening in Visual Studio. So let's give it a try. File open project solution. Okay, so I'm just opening this. Points to somewhere on my system, and I'm just going to copy and paste in the address bar the location of my project and open the solution, which still says lab 3. Okay, so but this is going to be the name of the new program. So first step after renaming the project and opening it in Visual Studio, I will just go to View Solution Explorer and just rename solution by right-clicking on it and saying rename. Okay, so just final project is fine, and rename the project itself, rename, which is also works fine. And so we'll have just a reminder that initially we had a number of source files that came with the textbook graphics library. And of course, main GUI is our main program that contains the main function, which starts using GraphLib library to display these graphical user primitives. So we have this set up in place. So let's go back to the description of our lab and see what else we can do here. It says open your main.cpp and use the following code to be the sync point. So the idea is that we're going to basically take this entire prototype right here, then copy it and paste it as basically replacing this entire entire content with the new content, right? We'll just I select everything by pressing Control A, and then just paste the new content. Okay, so that's complete, right? So this is the starting point, and what we have here is what we're going to try to demonstrate is just functionality of the new class of graph user primitive named text rectangle, which we will develop in our next steps.